Okay, guys, let's do this thing. Oh, I'm kind of nervous. Hi, guys, this is Paige, and this is the first episode of Girlhood, honestly, and I'm so glad you're here. And I wanted to first start off with introducing myself before getting into today's topic, although I'm sure as time goes on, you'll get to know me quite well. But to give a brief overview, I am the youngest of 3, and I also happen to be the only daughter. So if you're thinking well loved, you're thinking right. Um, they love me up in this house, bro. Anyways, I am also a university student, and I'm about to start my 3rd year of my degree, my bachelor's degree. What am I taking? I'm taking currently I'm a major in psychology, minor in biology, but I will be switching that, flipping it. But yeah, I really love psychology. I love biology, big passions of mine. Along with that, I tend to be a very passionate and expressive person, which brings us to today's topic, which is being our true, authentic selves. So, as I mentioned, I'm a very passionate and expressive person, and I found that throughout my life, that has either been embraced and loved, or it's been used as like one of my biggest flaws, which, yeah, we'll get into that. So, I'm gonna start with a little, sorry, I need to calm down. I get so excited that I'm like, okay. But anyway, sorry, I need to calm down. We're gonna start with a little story time to give an example of my life. And these will probably be quite common in my podcast because I love a good story, but also I want to create a space where I'm not only talking to you, but I'm also allowing you to hear my real experiences. Which, yeah. Anyways, so this scenario is one of my many different ways I've been extremely faulted about my expressiveness. Honestly, if I'm being real, like, I don't really remember a time in my life where, like, my expressiveness wasn't, like, kind of talked about, and whether that was in a negative way or a positive way, yeah, that's to go with whatever is happening, I guess, but, like, yeah, guys, I guess you'll see it. You'll hear me, I get very passionate in my voice, but yeah. Anyways, so recently, my brother and his wife had a baby, a beautiful baby boy. He is so cute. I saw him yesterday, and he's growing up so fast, guys, like, I don't even know how to feel. Like, my auntie heart is crying. I literally love him. Anyways, but through my sister-in-law's pregnancy, I was very excited. And when I mean excited, I mean it's been a dream of mine to be an aunt for years. I love babies, and I love a cute and sweet cuddly baby. And he is nothing short of that. But also, guys, side note, a couple weeks ago, it was my birthday, and I went over and I got to hold him for a whole nap. And, like, I don't know if you've ever held a newborn for their nap, but they nap for, like, a good, like, 2 hours. Heaven, heaven, absolute heaven. And if somebody could put that in a jar and give it to me, I think it would be the best gift ever. But yeah, anyways, so throughout the pregnancy, I was very excited. And by this, I mean I planned a baby shower, and I was always like, is he kicking? Like, come on, sir, like, move for me. But yeah, feeling a baby kick in the womb is also just like such a weird, so weird. Like, I don't know. Pregnancy is such a cool, very cool experience. I've never experienced it, but it's very like, yeah, just cool. Like, you're growing a whole baby. I always say it's low key like having a chia pet, but I don't think people resonate with that as well. But anyways, for certain people in my family, they would think I'm doing way too much. And I want to preface by saying, like, my brother's wife was like so okay with me being very like excited about it and like wanting to touch her belly and stuff, because I know like some women don't like that, and that's totally okay. But like I wasn't doing this like to my, she wasn't like being tortured, and like she wasn't like hating life or anything, guys. Like I promise she liked it, I think. Hopefully. No, I'm joking. She did. She would always like move um like move around, so he would like start kicking her or like start pushing on her belly to, so he would start kicking, and it was always best. Anyways, I want to make this clear that I don't think that our excitement for the baby was really any different, but rather I think like the way we were like expressing it was different, and there seemed to be an issue with like the way I expressed it, if that makes sense, which is like my true authentic self. um and I just think like that's important to state, because like sometimes people might be just as excited as you, because I mean, guys, like this is the first baby in the next generation in my family. Like he is the very first, like this is all of my family. He's the first, like my grandparents first great grandbaby for them, and they're all super excited. So yeah, it wasn't just like, I'm not saying that every baby is just any old baby, but he is the first baby, and so he's quite important, quite loved. He is a quite loved baby. Anyways, yeah, there just seemed to be an issue. There seemed to be an issue as to how I was expressing my excitement for him. And if I'm being honest, it definitely affected me. Like, I, yeah, I was just like, it low key made my excitement feel like wrong. So I like low key like would not feel excited around about the baby around certain people. With that being said, I wanted to talk about some focuses I try to remind myself to ensure that who I am and my personality stays on and doesn't turn off or be silenced because of people, because of how somebody perceives me. Because at the end of the day, who you are and your authentic self is generally the most beautiful and amazing things about life. Before we get into the points, I want to give you a little definition about authenticity, so that we can both be on the same page as to what so we can both be on the same page as to what I'm talking about right now as to what I'm talking about. So I googled it, guys. And this is the Google definition. So authenticity is the quality of being genuine, real, and true to one's own character. So really we're talking about like, yeah, being your authentic self. How can I even say this in another way? Google just said it. You're welcome. Anyways, so the first thing, and these are like kind of things I can't give you. I want to be very transparent here. I can't give you confidence. I can't make you be your authentic self. I can't allow. I can't make you like feel comfortable within yourself, but what I can do, or what I'll try to do, is give you, I'm not, take this with a grain of salt. What I can say and at least talk about is things that have helped me within myself, and like things that are just really good reminders when we're talking about our authentic self. The first thing is to pay attention to the people in your life who really appreciate who you are. This is important because like I feel like it is so easy to be like, let's say you're going through your day, and at the end of the day you're like, oh, this one person didn't like this about me today, but yet everybody else liked like the million one things about you. Like there was like a bunch of like, it was like five other people who loved who you were that day. Like, but it's so easy just to focus on that one thing that that one person didn't like or anything like that. So For an example, which today we actually have a lot of examples because I just feel like I kind of have like, yeah, some thought with all of this. But for an example, if I'm being honest, I never plan on entering the dating scene ever again, because I have found an incredible man. But if I was dating today, I think I would be absolutely cooked. I would be single. I don't know. Let's just say I don't think I would do so well because when I met my boyfriend, one of the first things, which is like almost 2 years ago now, but one of the first things he ever told me was that, or brought up about my personality was that, I fear I have a little habit of double texting. I also have a habit of responding right away, which like I text my mother like that, so I'm gonna text you like that. I don't know. But I guess like for my boyfriend, this approach of talking to someone wasn't the norm. So whoops, and maybe you're listening to me and you're like, Paige, what are you doing? What are you, what are you doing, Paige? But guys, sorry. Like I don't know. Like sorry. I just didn't know the whole like don't respond in this many much time. Mind you, I would see this text message pop up on my screen. I press it right away. I was like, oh, hello. I could like I'm like telling this man about what I what I had for breakfast. I'm like, I had 5 blueberries, 2 cups of yogurt. That's a lot of cups of yogurt. Anyways, to the fine detail of my life, like he knew everything. So, yeah. Whoops. My bad, guys. Anyways, so maybe to like 100 other guys, this would be not the vibe and not the girl they were looking for. But to my boyfriend and my person, um, he actually thought this was great and he loved it. Um, but I also like obviously that example is actually like the opposite of what I said from like he's like the one person versus the million, but like you get the point. Like the people who really appreciate you, like they're there. Don't worry. Like the people who really like your personality are there. There's not one person in this world that everybody hates. I think this is really important to mention because to the right people, who you are will be embraced and viewed as a positive. And at the end of the day, as hard as it is, try to put yourself and your energy into all these people who preach. Wait, don't put yourself. Okay, sorry. Try to put your energy into the people who appreciate you. Also, guys, this is literally not in my notes to talk about today, but this literally happened the other day, mind you. Mind you, this happened to me the other day. So I work in retail, which is like people know what retail is. I don't know why I try to explain what retail is, but anyways, I work in retail and I tend to be quite a chatty gal. I'm a yapper. I talk a lot. I think you can tell I have a podcast. Like, well, this is first episode, so do I have a podcast? Anyways, starting a podcast, all of that. And so everybody around the store tends to know me very well. They know I'm about to be like, hey guys. So when I say hi to these people, I'm always like, hey guys. Sorry if that annoyed you. But I always like give a little peppy hello to everyone because that's just who I am. Yeah, so we have a new guy. We're not gonna name names or anything. We're not gonna go too in depth about this. I did the same thing. I said, "Hey, hey." No, I said, "Hey, no. Why can't I do it? Hey, hi, hi, you're new. You're new. What? I don't know. Okay, guys, I said it in some high pitched voice. Guess what? He hated that. Everybody loves it. And he told me the first thing he said out of his mouth, never has talked to me before. Why are you talking to me like a baby? Right. My bad. Like, obviously that was not my intention. He did not know. I guess yeah. So I guess that's a perfect example because everybody else vibes with my hey guys, but he did not vibe with my hey guys. So yeah, low-key hated by this guy. But anyways, I wanted to highlight your connection with certain people because if everyone in the world's liked you, what difference would it make in those connections? Like, how would some connections be stronger if they liked everything about you or they cherished you the same way? I think that's the best part about us being so different is that when we do find our people, we're very cherished by those people. And yeah, it's just such a blessing in life. The second thing I wanted to mention is that you're not too much, you're just not for everyone. And that's perfectly okay. There is no single person in this world that everyone unanimously loves. And nobody was made to please everyone because what's important to remember is that as much as you are different from other people are also different from you. That means that what we like, what we think is funny, and how we react to things are never going to be the same as anybody else. Sure, there may be similar aspects between people, but there is never a direct copy. So, another example is I tend to be quite expressive when I'm telling my stories. Especially if like it just happened, guys, like I will be like, yeah. But I need to give you like the whole experience of the journey. I come from a quite quick and witty per se family, and we tend to be quite vibrant in a conversation. And so sometimes in class, so again, I'm in university, and in between your university classes, there's this 10-minute period where the class before has been let out, but there's like 10 minutes before your class starts. So usually this is your time to talk when you're in university. And I use this time like no other. Like, I love this time. Anyways, sometimes I can get quite expressive in my speech. I remember this one time there was just this whole it was a funny conversation, don't get me wrong. There was this whole conversation going on, and I realized that, like, bro, people probably are so annoyed with me because they're, like, around me and, like, they can just hear me yapping away, but the person I was in the conversation with was loving the conversation. So, like, really, does it really matter if everyone else is like, "Bro," like, I'm not interrupting anyone, like, it's between classes. And maybe I'm really annoying to other people, but sorry, I'm really funny to this one person who I'm talking to. So that's good. So, like, it doesn't really matter if someone else was like hating my little girl chat I was having. What really mattered was that the person I was having it with was loving the energy, loving the vibes. So yeah, maybe to some people I'm way too much, way too loud, way too whatever. But to the right people, like, they're like, yes, I'm living for this page and I need it. And I hope that's you because otherwise you probably won't keep listening. But yeah. And I'm going to be a little tough love here, but if you don't completely vibe with everybody in the world, why would they completely vibe with you? You know, like, let's be real. And so let's focus on who does vibe with us. That kind of goes my second and first point kind of go hand in hand with each other. Um just because they're kind of relatively similar. But yeah. Anyways, third point is different is fun. And I mean fun all caps. All caps because I know we have all sorry. Why did I say I know we've all seen those girls on Instagram that, as you can tell, are very authentically themselves with their posts and the look, and they're so cool. I know you know who I'm talking about. I know you have at least one girl you're like, yes. And, like, most of the time, I'm like, not me. Like, the aesthetic is not me, the vibe is not me, but I love it for them. okay, baddie, okay, cool, okay, yes, like, all of that, like, I love it. And, like, I love a girl who surprises me with their personality or, like, the thing they say. Or also when someone brings up an aspect of an opinion and it just itches your brain, right? Like, I'm like, "Oh, right." Sometimes I'm just shocked. Like, some people have such, like, cool things to say. Like my friend Dorian, she has an addiction to random facts. I swear, the things she pops out sometimes, I'm like, why would anyone know that? But it's different, it's authentic, and it's fun. And I love it for her. She's a cool girl. I love it. And maybe you're like listening to me say this and you're like, no, Paige, like that's not me. Like, I'm not that authentic cool girl. Like, no, but you are to certain people. You are different to certain people, and your difference in opinion, whatever, style, whatever, is going to be different to someone, and someone else is going to be like, yes, you know what? Yeah, I love that. I love that. So remember that, please. My fourth point here is that when your authenticity shines, so does your passion. And if you're trying to blend into the crowd and be like everyone else, then your passion is dimmed. Because let's be real, we can all nerd out on a little on something we're passionate about. So for example, guys, I really love Narnia. And I don't know if you guys are Narnia nerds, but I've read the books, I've watched the movies. The movies, like specifically the early 2000s movies, so good. And like there's new movies coming out in like January. And I'm kind of nervous because like yeah. Like, I don't want them to ruin my, like, childhood nostalgia. But we'll see. Hopefully they're good. Anyways, I also love a good book. I could talk your ear off about books. My friends would probably tell you that. And this is maybe weird, but I really like the feeling of putting a finished book on my bookshelf. Currently, my bookshelf is organized color coded, which is new. I just did that. And I also like obviously I mentioned this, but I also love biology and psychology. Like I might mention something about it and some people might be like, what are you talking about? But other people are like, that's a cool random fact. And I love that. I needed that. I feel like I have so many things I'm passionate about that I started this podcast so I could talk about it. I think expression of passion is so important and so beautiful. And actually my main example for this is when you're in university and even if you hate this subject, there is such a big difference when you are learning from someone who genuinely shows passion for their subject and someone who does not. Even if I'm doing grade wise the same in both classes, definitely I most definitely dislike the one with the passionate teacher less. Let me tell you, I did chemistry and I did English, and I've also done a psychology classes, and both of my English teachers were quite passionate, and thank you for that. But chemistry and psychology, I've had both passionate and non-passionate teachers, and I think the difference between them was crazy. And like I love psychology, but like the psych where the teacher's just like yeah. Yeah. You can just tell, and it's just not the vibe, it's not as fun, and it's just not as amusing to be there. And so that's why I'm saying passion is the goal, guys. Like, and when you're authentic, that's when your passion shines, because what are you going to be passionate about when you're not even being your real self? Good luck showing your passion, you know what I mean? This will be the darkest reminder of today's episode, but you only get one life. And we can know that and without fully taking in the aspects of that, but do not, and I repeat, do not waste your life trying to fit into someone else's mold. Because generally, at the end of the day, what is the point of being liked by everyone when you may not like yourself? And like, you don't want to get to the end of your life thinking, oh, I wish I was actually truly myself. I wish I did what I was actually passionate about. I wish I would have done this with who I was. There's so many, like, I know a lot of people like talk about regret and like not doing like certain things, like experiences. But what about not being who you are. Like, that is, let's be real, that's probably the worst thing that could happen. Our last and final point of today is that other people's reactions to you aren't always a reflection of you. And I actually wanted to slightly challenge you guys with this concept because this is actually low-key a double-edged sword. So I read an essay from the book 101 Essays That Will Change the Way You Think by Brianna Wiest. And the essay was about 101 things more worth thinking about than whatever's consuming you. And it has multiple things, obviously 101, but there were two that struck out to me with this topic. And it says, what qualities do you dislike most about people? And the latter of the qualities you like most. It uses that concept in order to internally reflect and introduce the idea that possibly these qualities that you dislike most in someone else may be the qualities you dislike most within yourself. And I don't believe this is always true, and you may disagree, but I do think there is a lot of truth and reflection in that statement. And I'm bringing this up because maybe you're instantly thinking about that truth for you, and but I'm going to challenge you to actually view it in the other way, as an idea, as a truth for whoever is putting a negative light on aspects of your personality, because potentially and very commonly the way they are reacting to you is because of an internal reflection rather than a reflection of you. Maybe they wish they were funnier or more vibrant or more outgoing. Rather than fully viewing that aspect within themselves, they actually spin it as a negative within you. So, that's kind of the end of our episode. I wanted to end this episode by emphasizing that these points and these reminders don't always seem and feel helpful. I'm the first person to tell you that confidence can waver, and being authentically you may seem so hard in certain situations, whether that is because you are in a new environment or in an old one where you do constantly feel a hit on your authentic self. But the point of this episode is that you may waver, but it is so important to not allow yourself to be consumed by it. To take these points and actually allow them to change your mindset that your authentic self is the best version of you that there is. So, with that being said, I'm so grateful that you listened to today's podcast. I hope to see you all again soon. Bye.